Welcome to a DropTent Media Production.
Hello and welcome to the Magical Misery Tour, where funny people discuss life's unfunniest things. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Neil Wood. Neil, how you doing, my buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing very good.
Nice. Good to hear, dude.
Yeah. We have a returning guest, Mr. Ryan Foster.
What up?
How you doing? We're about to get into some Juul talk with Foster. Foster, how you feeling about the Juul electronic cigarettes?
I love it because I mean I like it, but because I only smoked when I was either drinking or like if I was on like a long car ride or at Mike's.
All right, so you don't love it. You want to keep it cash, right?
Yeah, but then I'm smoking it like in bed before I get out of bed, and I feel like it's like making my face like dry.
Yeah,
And
no,
it definitely does that because you guys are both vape dogs, right?
Yeah, no, you got to. There is a learning curve. I felt I got better over time, but when I first started, I would get dried out fucking fast. Neil, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. It just dries you out completely, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just constantly drinking water. I've turned into just some like LA, like 4'2" woman who just has to carry around a water bottle all the time.
Just has to carry her weight in water.
Yes, just I have a Camel on right now.
Nice.
Do you do the Algene? I got the Algene, like one of them, like the plastic. I just leave that shit everywhere and end up buying like 12 gallons from Wawa every week.
Just left mine on the plane when I was going to fucking LA. Did it again.
Nice. I keep meaning to get like a glass one. I had a bassist I played with who was like a big conspiracy theorist, anti-vaxxer, but the one thing I kind of agreed with was he had like a permanent glass water bottle that he would refill, because I don't like the fucking if I leave a fucking bottle of water out in the sun, I taste it within like 10 minutes.
Well, I think that's the thing with the Nalgene. They're for like hikers and stuff.
Okay.
Like it's like a brand.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what it is. I think that's like the type of plastic maybe.
Okay. See, I was just playing along when you guys said Algene, because Algene is one of the creators of The Simpsons, so that was what I just. Like, yeah, he got into the water bottle business. That makes sense to me. Shit.
Nalgene, that's like the hippie. That's like the brand of all the ones. Those clear ones with like the big fat top. It's got like a big mouth on it.
Oh, Neil, that's like the gray top one you always have, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
I think we're looking at it up here. Is it one? No,
we're actually we're not on the big display.
Oh, it's okay. Strange. But,
are we videotaping?
Yeah, we
okay,
are.
perfect. Yeah,
we're fine.
Hi.
I just didn't turn on the television. This isn't right.
Yeah, that's Algene.
Nalgene.
Oh, okay. It did pop up.
I think it's Nalgene.
Nalgene.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You see them everywhere, especially in this neighborhood.
So it doesn't have. I believe it doesn't have any.
I think it just the plastic does
BPMs, right? BPAs, right? Yeah. So in terms of the plastic, that's what they were talking about when you're leaving like regular water bottle.
It's like terrible
in your cars. If it sits in the sun, the water, just like it is in the ocean, it'll degrade and that kind of stuff. This one stands up a little bit better, I believe, over time. But you just run through them. I end up just leaving them play. I'm the same way. That's why glass. I was like, fucking, what are you, retarded? Like I will.
It sits in my work truck.
No, it will. I will. It will have it in my bag or something. I will throw the bag someplace and it'll shatter in my bag. There's no way I can do it.
I think they have a particularly thick glass. Anyway, speaking of
welcome to water bottle talk. Everybody.
Speaking of reusable water receptacles, kind of a segue here. So Foster is starting up a podcast on the subject of dating. Isn't that correct?
Like dating, sex. With Peggy O'Leary.
That's right, Peggy O'Leary competing tonight in the Phillies Funniest final round. Yeah. But so we're going to do a little bit of experiment, try to make this a bit of a dry run, and we have asked the audience if they wanted to reach out and ask some, dating advice or sex advice from one of the big. I don't know. You're probably having the most sex in Philly comedy, I'll say.
I mean, there's people with boyfriends.
I think people blow up his fucking spot far too much. You guys all need to shut the fuck up about it.
No.
I know you're not doing it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like it's this glorification. It's just kind of like, guys, why don't you just stop?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, he's also the only guy in the scene that even has a little bit of that. So we're just kind of extra he's fucking everything.
I think I just
show him a hole.
Well, no, you have the thing where like you're gonna end up being like committed to. Commit a murder or be accused news of a murder you didn't do, just because you're like, yeah, dude, he gets around. If it was a girl, oh yeah, she ended up dead. Why? We saw her with Foster, and we were like, we didn't actually see her with Foster. We just know that he exists, and we saw they were in the same place at the same time. Like,
she went in his place smiling, never seen again.
Yeah,
just assuming.
It's just so strange. But I would say that in terms of if you're hanging out with Foster, I would say in terms of ease into talking about relationships, and I think just the diversity of people who you've met. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. I think and hanging out with you just a little bit, but I wouldn't say.
Been out.
Yeah, once or twice, but
ladies that you've known in the biblical sense.
Yes, possibly. I think it's and you and Peggy O'Leary, the fans of maybe this podcast, obviously some know, but if you don't know, I think you guys would be a great mix. I think it's gonna be good when you guys get that going. That's gonna be awesome.
We have like a couple in the can already, but it's like funniest and. There's been so much. And
crazy.
it's the summer, starting something up, everybody's doing shit, I don't know.
Nice.
It's just annoying. Wait till
Well, what was your overall goal? I mean, like dating and stuff, but did you guys set up like questions for the ones in the cans? Did you have like how your format or what you guys were talking about out of the gate?
Like, we actually tried to record the first one, and we were like, it'll just be me, because we just got the, the H4N. We got,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got that, and we were like, let's just try to do one and see, because we had no idea like, what we were going to do. And it became clear that we needed a guest, or we would just, because we got a bottle of vodka and it just got out of hand.
Really? That sounds, I can't imagine such a thing would lead to something spinning wildly out of control.
It was just, we ended up drinking for like, I don't know, like 9 hours on like a Wednesday. It's like, okay, we need somebody to be here.
Every once in a while, I just forgot about a Becky. Like you're just fuck. She's like, I just remembered a Dan. Jesus Christ, Okay, I get you.
Well, let's. We got some emails here, so let's go to our first one. Neil, if you could throw that up on the screen, please.
Sure, buddy, no problem. So
I know.
Top down or bottom up?
Let's start with the top, because I know one of them needs a pseudonym, and I need to look up what it is.
We're doing this anonymous.
We're doing this anonymous. I asked them to throw in their punny pseudonyms. Cool. So our first one, Dear Ryan. Why are all the men I bone only able to finish in doggy style?
That's a problem.
Sincerely, forward-facing in Fairmont. So probably a young lady. I don't know. Personally, I have trouble finishing doggy style, so I don't know how I feel about this one.
I used to almost I feel like when I was younger, I used to exclusively finish in doggy style. But I'm an ass guy.
Was that But was that an ask? Or did you find that? I also found that women, like we had unfortunately trained women like to do like I've had girls like be like, oh, if you're getting close or stuff's happening, they just like flip over. Like when I was younger, I was like, why are you doing this? And I just realized that other guys had been like, this is the normal thing,
right?
And I was like, porn. That's cool. Yeah, it's just porn. Yeah. It's just porn. That's all it is. I was like, I'm good. We can just do. Well, we're all cool.
Do whatever. Just glad I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
I would say also for like anxious people, I could see it being easier to finish. Exactly. When you're not like having someone looking right at you.
That's what I was going to say. It's an eye contact thing.
Yeah.
I would assume so. Because I remember, like, I think I was... I mean, we're talking years before I could make eye contact during sex.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh, I used to do a joke about that, like when you'd be at an open mic and some guy would have his girlfriend there. I'm like, that is more intimacy than it's so crazy. Right. Mm-hmm. At least when I start, and then I'm like, oh no, you're just a dick. You're, not a dick, but you're just like so worried about sharing your thoughts with someone. Sure. At least me, but. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would think. It's like an intimacy issue.
All right. So forward-facing in Fairmount, get guys with less anxiety, I suppose, who want to look at you while they blast.
Or like, it could be a confidence issue. That was rude. Blast.
I'm not saying anything about looks. I'm saying, blast. Yeah.
Well, also, though, I'm just finding, here's the problem. Like, the person who's asking the question is...
I want to snitch on it.
No. What I was going to say is, have you finished already? That's what I'm in my head. I'm thinking the other person. I go like, wait, did you finish? And then you're like, oh, he's finishing up here. It still feels good, and he's having trouble finishing, and maybe because let's say it's visual for some, guys or whatever, or just visual overall. I'm very interested in that, but I mean, I haven't had that.
Also, how are all the men? How many men are we talking about here?
Seriously,
it's a couple there.
We talking all at once? Is it just easier access for more than one in that position? See, the other reason this doesn't really hold water for me is I tend to date like petite women. So there's always a weird like ass to pelvis thing. Like it takes them a bit to actually like get the pose down for me to even like get in comfortably that I can rock it, you know?
I gotcha. So. But I mean, what's the real question here? That's Do you think this question is about why do they? I mean, it's why do all men eye bone? So we're talking about that. But do you think that it would be a problem with intimacy? Do you think that person has figured out that it might be an intimacy issue, or do they think it's purely physical?
It's either that or like a self-confidence. I don't know.
Yeah,
eye contact freaks me out.
I could imagine it has something to do with that.
I don't know.
I you know what'll get you out of that? It was just crazy that women who don't close their eyes when they kiss. That'll get you out of it real quick.
Yeah.
I'm saying women for me. I'm sure other women probably have had the same experience. I don't know who told them. Whoever these people are that are like, no, I keep my eyes open when I'm kissing. And no one has ever called them on it are crazy.
I still remember when everybody would have you would have the parties in like middle school where everybody would just pair off and make out.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. We want to set up an adult makeout party. One of these days. It's happening.
I still vividly remember everybody like making out, and everybody would be like taking breaks for every look over, and there was this one dude who will remain nameless that had wide open, and everybody afterwards was like, "What the fuck?" We like hop, we're all like on the like our bikes home or in like somebody's minivan, and be like, "What the fuck was that all about?" But you were saying
just keeping an eye out. It's got PTSD.
Eyes open, kissing. There was a girl. We had sex, and afterwards she was like, "Can you lie there and not kiss me back?" And wanted to just make out with like my prone face.
Ooh.
And we had just
already
had sex, so I was
so
like,
you just had sex.
At that point, I'm like, literally stabbed me. I don't care. For the next 4 minutes, and then after like 3 seconds, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
It's really close to some. Well,
it's like necrophilia.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering when that's
some kind of control.
I don't
know.
Interesting.
But then no, it's just like
there's been multiple serial killers who have absolutely wanted women to, and I say because most of them are men, want them to just lay down on the bed and pretend to be asleep or dead. That's a new one, dude. I haven't had that before.
Hey, it's creepy, but it's better than going out there and finding the real thing.
It was like one of them. It's one of them things you're like drunk and then you kind of forget about it at the moment. And the next day you're like making eggs and you're like, what the fuck? Like I need to call someone to discuss this.
Now, that is a strange one. I think
doggy style.
So
though,
intimacy
you could have a
issues.
great. You mean because it's like because then there's douchebag dudes like you don't want to look at your face. But
honestly, for this person,
she's pretty, so
depending on what's going on. Stop saying she. We don't know. I think we're supposed to pretend. So you know what I do find? I'm wondering though. Really, what it comes down to, I'm wondering for that person, is can you come that way? If you don't, I think that's the big. Are you letting? Let's just say it is a woman and a man. Are you letting that man like do that just so he can get off, or is he taking care of business already? And this, you know what I mean? Like, or do you feel nothing for the doggy style? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I would figure out that. And also,
I hope she likes it. If it's all,
that's terrible. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, I've known a lot of girls that like it because it gives them easy access to get a hand underneath and work the jelly bean.
Sure. I know a lot of people that don't know.
No, it's called a jelly bean. Father Max taught me that.
Oh God! All right, let's go to the next.
Okay, go to the bottom one because I just found the pseudonym I'm supposed to use for it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so this is coming from Miss Murdered. How long should you wait to dump your fuck buddy after you realize he might murder you? And what is the general etiquette in dumping fuck buddies? That is from Miss Murdered.
Oh my God! So how long do you wait to dump your fuck buddy after you realize you might? I mean, it depends if. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing to fucking roll the dice every time. That might kind of do it for me.
I mean, don't knock it till you tried it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that one time when you pushed it too far, though. It's like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna be a night, and the sex was gonna be really fun.
Yeah, I also enjoy dating. I wouldn't say crazy, but slightly unhinged, dangerous. I don't really like.
Kind of got to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I don't think basic is. I mean, we're all talking about basic, but
I don't like.
What's something that's just crazy enough? I think there's such a thin line between just like, oh yeah, like a little unhinged, and like what's the line there? Like, what's a red flag that you could tell people to be like, okay, so when this goes to fuck buddy to something, like what are the patterns of crazy that you would stay away from?
Well, I was saying, if you have I forget, I like put a joke out recently. I forget what I said. It was like if your fuck buddy asks how your day's going, you don't have a fuck buddy.
True.
Yeah, I fell into that for a while.
A fuck buddy is a relationship.
Yeah, sure.
Like obviously, people who act like it's not. You're like, well, you mean you're a sociopath? Yeah. People fuck around like, Ryan, you're a psycho. I'm like, no, I'm not a psycho. You're just soft, or I don't know. But yeah, that. And then if you see a fuck buddy more than like, I don't know, twice a week. That's you're kind of pushing it at that point.
I mean, if this is a serious question, then you should probably like immediately. I mean, if this is like might murder you,
the etiquette in dumping a fuck buddy.
That's what I'm wondering.
Dumping already, they're not a fuck buddy.
Right.
You don't have to dump them.
So
like, this isn't working out anymore.
Just ghost.
Yeah.
If it has to, if it has to go to that, just be like, I'm not. Let's not do this anymore.
See, I had that over. I had a fuck buddy for like 6 months that I broke up with because I thought I found a girl I was crazy about, and then she dropped me immediately after. I was very sad. Yeah, but well, you know what it is? It's just I'm so Mr. fucking monogamous that it was like. It's not that I want to get rid of you. It's just like I only want to fuck this person now because I'm just super excited. But I had to call her up and just give her a hole because again, it's already 6 months seeing each other once a week and usually going out on dates. We weren't fuck buddies. We just didn't like each other to date.
But date, I don't know, because I thought I had a fuck buddy for like I'm talking at least a year.
So let's define some terms, dude. What was the fuck buddy like? What is that? What is that term? What's the difference? Oh, okay, are we ready for a call?
No, we can finish this up. I told him I'm just, stay on hold.
Like if you're
So like, let me ask you this: like,
fuck buddy, people, my friend, like I'll have girlfriends that'll be like, Ryan, you're leading that girl on or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm just not like, I'm not gonna fucking have sex with somebody. I'm like, get the fuck out.
Sure.
Like, of course we'll go out and fucking have drinks and fucking whatever. Go out to eat, and then I don't know. I guess if you don't treat a girl like a complete piece of shit, then you're not a I don't know. People are crazy because your girlfriends will like give you advice, and I'm like, yeah, but that's you,
right?
Like, you know how rude it would feel like to actually act like do what you're telling me to do. Like it's just like no, it just feels crazy.
We can come back to this, but right now we have a caller on hold. I don't know if this person. I'm going to hide their name on my phone because I don't know if they want to be.
I'll take you off cam.
Anonymous.
I'm going to know this.
Caller, would you like to ask something for Ryan Foster?
Yeah, I'd like to ask something to Ryan Foster. Let me just tell you, first of all, long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's all that.
Long time, first time. What?
Just down to the meat and potatoes of this here question for you. Recently, I found someone online who I was looking to possibly hook up with, but they have what I would like to call, and I guess the medical community in general would like to call, full herpes.
Full herpes.
You know what?
Full.
What?
You said full herpes.
Genital herpes.
Talk about me.
Okay.
So, all right. So I never realized how little I knew about herpes until I realized.
You broke up, but I saw you Facebook post about this. You had no idea how little you knew about herpes until you wanted to fuck somebody with herpes. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. And the more I researched about herpes, the more I realized just how contagious it was. So I've been looking into all sorts of things, like maybe just like put on a hazmat suit and cut a little hole around the dick area and just put a little condom on there and just try and get into it with that. But
Yeah.
Who's had a lot of experience with herpes? You think it's worth the risk?
Okay. Is it worth the risk for herpes?
If you Googled that much, then you're already in love. I think it's over. So yeah, I say go for it.
Oh, there you
I don't
go.
Google anything. So I say go for it.
Nice.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Ryan Foster says go for it. Get them bumps.
You only live once, baby.
Yeah.
And they have medication for that.
Everybody should learn to read Braille, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm going to hang up on you now. Goodbye. By the way, they weren't talking about you because I'd seen them post something like that before.
I gotcha.
I feel like they, whoever that was, wears Jordan flip-flops without socks in the winter.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's so accurate. It just feels right, doesn't
There's
it?
a certain twang to that voice. I feel like I've heard it before. What else do we got?
We have our second caller calling in a second, so maybe we could take another. Yeah, that fuck buddy thing. I mean,
so here's what I wanted to define, like the terms, because I feel like, okay, so I think the extreme low end of or high end of fuck buddy is literally like you call, it's what's up, like it's just hey, it's what's up.
Yeah, they
come over, you go over there, one of the two. There's really not a whole lot of depth like that. Like you both go into.
You're not going out anywhere.
Right.
That is the
it's
true
really
fuck
not
buddy.
like out. Yeah. I'm just no. I'm saying like in the range, right? So in the range. The other one being, I think, what commonly is, you're just like cordial person. You go out, you have some drinks, you do that, but you guys aren't committed. Yeah, casually dating.
There's never the what are we talk. Or
you're not. They're both understanding that it is what it is.
Up with anyone else
it is going for that. Yeah.
Right.
Unless those people, I'm sure there are people that even do that and then like say like, no, we're only doing this for the physical stuff.
Yeah.
And good for you for communicating, I guess, because a lot of us are just kind of like, we haven't said anything, so I think it's fine.
It's a free for all.
Yeah.
We can get back to that.
Yeah. All right. So we have our second caller. Caller, go ahead. What do you have to ask Mr. Ryan Foster?
Okay, so if cocaine makes people dudes' dick hard, is it a natural aphrodisiac for women's?
I've never heard anything about cocaine making people's dicks hard.
Yeah, so if you've ever watched The Nick, you would know about this.
What's The Nick?
It's an HBO show.
Is it just a theory that if you do blow, the dude can get his dick up? I don't know.
No, it's supposed to be the dude can't get his dick up, but that depends on the guy you're dealing with.
Sure.
The level of pervert.
Yeah.
If
he's a gentleman, he'll have a Viagra on him when you guys are doing coke together.
Right. Now, from what I know about coke and the way it affects sex the most is that women who are really, really into coke will do pretty much anything for it, hence the term coke whores. So...
I'm asking if it's like, if it has the amorous effects on men, would it be the same thing? Would it have, I was going to say, like, would it be, because, like, sometimes you can get stupid stoned and be DTF. If you do a bunch of coke, are you down to smash automatically?
I mean, coke definitely makes you, like, hypersexualized. It's like Molly.
Okay.
Same shit, but most people are too fucked up to get.
Yeah, I only did it once, and I didn't really.
Molly?
No, coke.
Once, it was not for me.
Yeah, I've only done it once.
Every day for.
I actually don't do that much coke.
I get you,
but I mean,
it's been
not
hyped.
a lot.
It's been hyped.
I mean, come on, you're not made of money. Come on.
Yeah,
Well,
but I have had, speaking of, like, I've had fuck buddies where, like, we'll go out and plan to be like, we're getting a 50 bag, and then we're going back to the house and getting crazy. But
so I guess the question is, so if it is hard for guys to maybe come or whatever, but have you found that women usually reach climax?
No,
it's the same kind of thing.
To, yeah.
So I think just the neurons wise, it's just hard for blood, like through whatever's happening there biologically. It might be hard for
I think
them
it's like
to
a serotonin issue, probably.
Right.
Like, I don't know if your brain's concentrating on the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try putting it right on the penis and putting it that in.
There you go.
That's early. No, okay. So that's
never tried.
They used to do that. No, that's crazy fucking
shit.
shit. Don't actually do that. They used to, they would put little tiny bits of heroin or cocaine on their penis and directly on the genitals and have sex that way because
I tried that with marijuana. Didn't do anything for me.
Didn't do anything. Good
Yeah.
job,
If you
buddy.
haven't had a line snorted
Are you
off
talking
of you,
about applying marijuana directly to the person's genitals?
I think he
Topically.
was.
Yes.
Yes, topically.
Anally helps as well. It already stinks, so you don't notice quite as much.
Oh boy.
I don't know who you're dealing with.
This is going
I
down.
don't want to, like, that'd be real fucking gross. I mean, like,
I also know who this is.
Yeah.
No, there's no hidden.
It's
Okay.
a good question, caller. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Love you,
Bye.
But
It's funny she brought that up because I actually I had sex with a stoned woman for one of the very first times last night. I'm sure I had before. I just hadn't noticed
She
it.
had been beaten about the head and face with rocks.
Yes, stoned. Yes, her father had caught me holding her hand and said, it's just can't allow
That's
this.
the way it goes.
Got lucky.
what it is.
No acid this time.
Right.
But you know what the thing was? This was a new girlfriend. And we had sex yesterday, and then after she smoked weed, and then we had sex again, and two very different experiences.
Really?
better or worse?
Well, no, they were both good, but she pretty much said she was making like strange faces the second time. I'm like,
Right.
"Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'm really fucking stoned."
Right.
That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I've had like girlfriends where we would purposely get really high and fuck, which is great.
I've heard stone sex is great, but I'm not a big
Amazing.
pot
yeah.
guy.
I don't smoke as much as I used to. I used to smoke like a ton, but yeah.
I got you.
I like weed.
Any downsides to the sexual interactions? Real stoned with like both of you getting ripped.
Insane, like dry mouth.
Sure. Okay. So just the normal.
You need to Nalgene on the bed. You know
physical stuff.
Yeah.
I have heard from people.
It also depends. If you're a person that smokes a lot, you're obviously going to be more comfortable having sex while you're high.
Sure.
If you guys both smoke together for the first time, it's going to be like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know, it's not going to be fun.
Might be panicking.
No, I know this girl is going to smoke me up at some point. I've already wondered, like, look forward to me scurrying around your house like a fucking cockroach. That's all. That's all I got to say. I hope you still think I'm cute after.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, because this is the Magical Misery Tour, we should get at least into one dark thing. And I don't know why I never thought about this, but maybe we can go around the room, something very dark that has to do with sex. Have either of you ever had a serious pregnancy scare? Yeah. We got nods.
That was like my first.
Yeah.
That was my first. I think that my second time ever having sex.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that was supposed, F-buddy situation. I'm trying to clean it up. F-buds, dude. We were F-buds.
We were frick buds.
We were frick buds.
I would love if we clean up it's only the F. So me and my F buddy, I came on her face.
Right.
And,
We were frickin'.
Keeping it religious. And we had said that, like, oh yeah, we'll just, we'll be that. And that was a bad idea because, the first time we did it, like the next week, she was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Like I was like maybe 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm like going into high school just being like.
She saw your superior, tall, acne-ridden genetics and just had to get in on that shit.
It turned out
Yep.
it turned out it might have been a ploy because she ended up not being pregnant at all.
Yeah.
Like 2 days later, I was like, well, let me know what you're going to do. She didn't want to take a pregnancy test, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like all these real big, bad, signs there. And when I asked her friend, I was like, hey, what's going on with Brittany? She's like, everything's, or no, I'm sorry. I asked Brittany, oh shit. it's not this Brittany. It's a long,
right. You've had a few.
I've had many Britneys. Yeah. This is the first one.
Look up Neil Wood's greatest hits for his his takes on Britney's.
I ask her, I'm just like, hey, what's going on? It's been a couple days. Like, do you, what do you want to do? I'm behind you, whatever. And she's like, oh, I took care of it. I went to the doctor with this girl, this friend of hers. I asked her friend. She's like, we never went to what the hell is she talking about? We never took her anywhere. So it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do a pregnancy test. All of a sudden, everything's fine. I took care of it with the doctor thing and all that stuff. I was like, what's going on? That's when I talked to my second mom. You know about second moms.
Second moms, all about it.
All about the places you go to do silly stuff.
I'd rather you drink here than be out there. Can you light this for me?
Go to my second mom, and she's like, yeah, Neil, she might have been, just trying to keep you. I was like, what? Yeah. So that was my first. I might have been 50. I was panicked.
That's impressive to pull at that age.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, I was gonna say mine. I was like 18. Was the second girl I ever slept with, and God, there's some odds and ends here. This girl had already had a kid, but still a great body because she had it at like 15. Yeah. But she and I are hooking up and just fucking great sex, awesome. I pull out and there's a little ringus around my dingus, but not
ever.
When you just have a great fucking, like literally right as I came, just like fucking like Porky Pig through the fucking bass drum, just bam right through.
And it also probably broke a minute or two before that.
Probably. I was new. I didn't know anything.
No, I'm like a whisperer. Like I learned that early. If I hear anything even close to a pop, I'm like, everyone stop. Everybody stop what you're doing. Yeah. I put my ear to the ground. I'm like, no, I hear something coming.
How do you hear that over the Ramstein you blasted?
I'm just listening to that Mastodon. Just headbanging.
Yeah, new girlfriend. First time we had sex, she put on a new metal playlist. It was ridiculous.
Another caller?
It is. You got to put them on hold for a sec, and then you can throw them on speaker.
Yeah.
But so I came in this girl, but I didn't tell her right away because I didn't know what to do about it. And there's another factor in this. Aside from already having a kid, so she's fertile, she was black. And I knew my family if I got this girl pregnant. Oh, and the other thing, the reason she had a kid at 15 is she's Jehovah's Witness. So nobody was taking her for an abortion.
So young black woman.
Jehovah's Witness. Right.
Well, know that your family, unfortunately, not at that time, probably a little more so now, but like especially with your dad. Your dad was around then?
Yeah, like, yes.
They would not be open to this type of thing.
They would not be okay with this. So I called up my older cousin, Ashley. I'm like, what do I do? I need to get a plan B. Can I buy a plan B?
You can.
But I didn't know at that time. This is 2005.
I get you.
Can I sneak?
A mind fuck. You're like, I don't know what to do.
Right. Can I sneak this in her drink if I have to? Like literally, literal thoughts.
Oh boy.
But then later, I just called her like, listen.
It's a perfect lead-in.
Yeah. Well, you know how I did it? I did it perfect. Again, this is a younger girl. She was 16. I'm 18. I literally just called her up and said, listen, I came in you today by accident. I have a plan B pill. I'm coming by now. Just like no time to think.
Right.
And long and short, no kids, mixed or otherwise.
I'm sure she was. Mixed. Why mention mixed or otherwise?
Because that was part of the thing. It was the circumstances of the moment.
I get you, but I'm sure I'm sure she wouldn't be fighting. I mean, she already has a child. She probably was just like, yeah, no, that's probably a good idea, right? There was probably not a rebuke. She didn't try to say no.
Right? No. She didn't do anything. Although she did have another kid less than a year later.
Right.
But luckily. Half Asian, clearly not mine.
Yeah. There you go.
So everything worked out.
Good for you. 18, she was 16. Yeah.
All right. I believe we have another caller.
We do.
Caller here. All right. Coming over. I'm going to turn you up a little bit.
Hello?
What's up? You are on the microphone.
What up, baby boys?
This is Peggy O'Leary calling. Are you in an Uber?
No, not yet. You know me. I'm running late.
No, you're running late.
I'll be fine.
I mean, I think you're fine.
So this is Peggy O'Leary, who will be your co-host on this podcast.
Yes, this is the co-host of my podcast.
What'd you say?
That was Jesse. He said, this is Peggy O'Leary. She's going to be the co-host of the podcast, of our podcast.
Oh, man. Yep. How's this one going?
Going great, Peg. Going
Just
great.
3 white dudes over 6 foot talking shop, you know?
pretty
That's
much.
right.
Yeah, I know, but like 2 of you, like I can't count as over 6 foot. You know what I mean? Because it feels like you haven't gone in the sun in a while.
How dare you?
I'm guessing he's talking about us.
Yeah, you guys
Jesse
are
and
the
I.
pale ones. I'm
Sorry
golden
about
brown.
that.
Actually, I'm not. My tan is slacking.
I'm about as tan as I get right now.
Are going to be a bunch of pussies about this?
You weren't mean to me. I liked it.
No, I was all
I
good.
know, I thought they would at least laugh or rub me back. But
Peggy, we will not tolerate bullies on this podcast.
They were rubbing your back virtually.
You fucking called the wrong monster.
You called us.
She called me. What are we talking to her about? Peggy,
Yeah.
they're asking me sex advice.
Yeah, you're.
Okay,
What do you think? Someone wrote in asking why every dude that they have sex with can only come in doggy style.
Well, I just feel like they've only had sex with like 2 people.
Right.
That's a valid point.
Um,
Intimacy issues?
I feel like more girls, that's how they come.
Okay.
That's what Jesse said.
Gotcha.
Right?
How ugly is her face?
So this is anonymous.
Yeah, it wasn't.
This is anonymous.
It wasn't a
we
video
do
call.
not know.
I'm sorry. How great is her ass? I mean,
That's what I said.
No, that's
It's
a
either-
factor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a flip of the
Does she
coin
look
there.
back? Does she look back? Like,
Right.
I gotta know what kind of dog style. Is
Yeah.
it like rough? Is your head in the pillow? If that's happening every time, you are dating sociopaths that want to
Probably.
murder somebody.
Or her parents are home. You have to take that into account.
You do have to take
The
that.
face in the pillow.
Sure.
Sure, but she's asking it like, obviously she doesn't know why that's the only way they can come with her.
Right.
You know, it's also how many dudes was it, right?
Right, because I
If
think
it's like
that she just
67 dudes, we got a problem.
Also, how old is she? How long has she been having sex? Because that's like the next step up after missionary. So, like, I feel like that's like the first time you're like, ooh, I'm going to turn around.
Let's say
Check this shit out.
let's say mid to
Unless
late.
you're me and you're just like, can we just keep our clothes on? I'm pretty Catholic. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can actually pray the rosary while I'm bent over. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you also simultaneously call me a whore, though? I know that's weird. I'm sitting here messages.
Can you spit on my back?
That's you, Ryan. I don't like spitters. It's gross.
I spit in mouths.
You
It's different. I'm
also
not going to
like
spit
period
on
blood.
someone.
You have like your own weird shit.
I didn't say I like period blood. I said I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah, why would you be?
Oh yeah, no, that's it.
That's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's an important thing.
Keep
as
a cup of it in the fridge, but that's different.
That's an important thing as a young man. As a child, you got to not be afraid of the dark. As a young man, you got to not be afraid of period blood.
I agree. I 100% agree.
No, I mean, trust me, it's not. I mean, yeah, no shit, motherfuckers. I don't. It's not like I've ever met a guy who's been like, "Yo, I don't care," and I'm like, "Wow,
You haven't?
You're a
Oh, wow.
monster."
I was just talking to somebody recently here. They were like, "Oh, absolutely not. I'll wait."
Yeah, I've met a couple.
God.
I've met a couple who've been like, "No."
Number.
I'm like, "Really?"
Actually, I know exactly.
I was dating an observant Jewish girl, and apparently when she's like, "Oh, I'm on my period," I'm like, "Oh, well, let's do it anyway." Like, no, and like, turns out strict Judaism that ain't allowed.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Yeah, they got to go live in a tent for a day or two.
Here's the thing: there has definitely been times where I have been like, "Yeah, not feeling it."
Not this
like,
one. Right.
I don't feel like washing my sheets tomorrow.
Right.
Towels, but
Yeah.
Yeah, or I'll just be like, also, I'm one of those weird ones, so I'm like, no, this is my punishment, so now I have to suck your dick all week long.
ground me, please.
Bless your heart.
But again, that's my own kind of fucked up stuff.
How's your shoulder feeling, by the way?
It's fine now. I stretched it out. I got a tennis ball and rocked it out. But
What'd you do to her shoulder? She's probably leaning on her shoulder. Yeah, probably leaning on her shoulder while giving a blowjob. Yeah. You never had that?
No, I've had that.
Yeah.
job injury.
Well, so wait,
She's playing hurt out there.
so Peggy.
I didn't stop.
No, you're a gamer.
Bless your heart.
I texted Ryan, I think I'm injured from a blowjob. And he was like, who are you texting? And I was like, what?
Mom, isn't this
None of
you?
your business.
So Peggy, to the question for the young lady, should she? I don't know if she's having a problem with it because she's questioning it. She's like, why do they all need it? Do you think she should just try to like no, just say no? Do you think she should try to lean into it and just like try to? What do you think should happen?
See, I took it more like she was asking, like, what's wrong with all men that they have to do that?
Right.
I think that I think it depends on where she's at or where she's at with the guy. Like, maybe that's just what he wants to, like, that's like a guy's way of, like, saying, like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. So, like, maybe also just, especially if they're coming, and that means you haven't come yet because of the way she's saying it.
That's what I'm
maybe
saying.
you should fucking change it up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some initiative, and if a guy's like, no, I can only come like this. I just don't. It's not like she's asked every guy and they've been like, yes.
Right.
That's just how it's been ending for her.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the sophomore album of sex, and in your 20s, that's like the first move most guys feel comfortable. That's another thing girls fucking forget about. Most guys are more nervous than girls.
Sure.
And that's like the one thing that they know girls are cool with. Usually,
It's
you know
not too crazy.
It's not crazy at all. I'd actually argue it's missionary too.
Missionary 2?
Peggy, one of the things that I said as a slight argument was that we thought it might have something to do with intimacy and anxiety, and the fact that in doggy style there's no eye contact involved. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what I mean by most. I think girls, because we were always told our whole life that, like, guys just want sex and they're just gonna come all over us and blah blah blah.
Come.
I remember when Grandma sat me down and told me that.
Or at least guys that are like, I don't know, semi-evolved. They're not like total fuck machines in a way like the movies say it. So I think girls forget that like that it's as awkward for them sometimes as it is for girls. And I think that it's the easiest way to. I mean, I know that's why I'm like, that's like the first thing you do sometimes because you're like, yikes.
I don't know what you're cool with. What are we doing? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know where to look if you're just on top of me or on top of you. Like, so.
You just pick a freckle on the forehead and stare until everybody's finished.
Right.
Just go to your find a spot on the wall and
a little bit of them had freckles, so that's hard.
mole, whatever you need.
Yeah, talk about more backlash from that men are just fuck machines thing. One thing I have definitely noticed is there's obviously the cultural cliche of like, oh, not tonight, I have a headache. My personal experience is if a girlfriend or a woman wants to have sex with me and I'm just not feeling well or not in the mood, they get fucking pissed off in a way that would be considered very, very not cool if the roles were reversed. Has anybody else had this experience?
Yeah, I've never.
I'm just a fuck machine. I've never had that problem.
No, I don't. I mean, I've never lived with a girl. I've never.
Can I get the question one more time? Yeah. Sorry.
Ryan also literally has like doesn't see a person more than twice rule. So
That's not a rule.
It's not a rule. That's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's not a rule. It's a feeling.
It's a commandment.
So my thing is that I used to have a guy that would withhold sex from me because, like, if he was mad at me, like, he was what we would think a woman would be. But that's just also because the truth is some men have lower sex drive and some women have higher sex drive.
Yeah.
Or you're just, like, not at that place. Like,
or they've been jerking off all day.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's usually what it is. Usually men are also addicted to porn. So
Jerking
if
off
the
at work,
girl's
jerking off
getting
driving.
That's a problem. That's a fucking
Neil,
issue.
you should have seen how serious Neil's face was.
There's too many guys who I know who are like, yeah, I had to jerk off at work again. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Wow.
I did that, but I worked for a fucking porn company. Like,
Sure,
it just
that's,
happens.
yeah, I guess on that one. But there's way too many guys. I'm like,
I mean,
guys,
I've
you guys,
jerked off driving on the turnpike before multiple times.
I've done that with a woman in the car. I've never
after a
just
hot
jerked
date.
off.
Yeah.
Well, once, but that was weird. It's a different.
What? Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Which one?
No, so do you think how many?
No, what you just said about how you jerked off a girl once.
No, I've jerked off in the car, like when a woman's in the car, like on the way to go home to actually have
And
sex.
you thought that was weird?
No, I thought that
no.
was fine. The other one was
think that's
I've only
perfectly
ever
acceptable.
masturbated once. Coming.
Acceptable. I argue sometimes it's the only way I can get a guy to make me come. Jeez.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get you. I keep
I
going.
think also though, again, I think that's also like a societal thing that like women are told that men are supposed to be fucking us all the time, or
Right.
and we're supposed to be the ones that withhold it.
Yeah.
So a lot of women, if they're insecure in a relationship, that's the first way. Or if they're insecure about their bodies, maybe they, didn't work out, or they're about to get their period, or whatever, and they're and you being like, oh no, I'm kind of tired. To them is a slight on
Right.
what they think is like what men want versus what women want, kind of thing.
Right.
So I think that a lot of times that's just like in a like I had to say that to my like boyfriend of the time, like, and actually that's why he started doing that, like, to manipulate me. I had to say to him at one point, like, hey, I can't date you unless we have sex this amount of times. Like, it's just
You got to
this
hit my
is what
minimum.
I need. And because I also knew that he was jerking off all the time to porn.
Yeah.
So it would be like, so
Well,
Yeah, that's
upsetting.
not right.
You'd
You're,
rather
you're,
jerk
you're
off than
giving it
actually-
away,
yeah.
you know?
But also, that's also because, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I would rather go fuck him. I was also sober at the time, and he could get drunk.
Boo.
So I
Yeah.
would be like, let's, like, go fuck here and there. And so he would always be like, Jesus. I'm like, this is my only outlet.
This is all I have left.
This is all I have.
Talk about it. I just don't think people talk about it
Yeah,
as much
definitely
because
not.
it's embarrassing for women. It's an embarrassing thing for men.
Well, that's why they'll have to listen to Urine Foster's brand new
Yeah.
podcast, and they can't talk about it, so you will. You guys got a name for that podcast?
Lovable Monsters.
Fuck yeah, Lovable Monsters.
perfect.
Look for it dropping soon. Peggy, thank you for calling in. We're going to be wrapping this up in a little bit. Good luck tonight, Philly's Funniest.
Yeah.
So bad.
Thanks,
Crush
Peggy.
it a little bit. Bye.
Yeah, have fun. Bye.
Nice. So we got to wait for it for a second. Foster, do you have a pregnancy scare story?
I mean, yeah. I have.
Dozens. How much time you
No,
got?
not dozens. I'm trying to think, like, of course, like, in high school, I had the same girlfriend all throughout high school, so it was just nonstop pregnancy scares. Not even pregnancy scares. I think you're just so dumb and uninformed. You're just like,
Sure.
you're just pregnant all the
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's also. I remember hearing like Little Miss, like, well, some of them get through the condoms. It's like that doesn't
which
seem
they
possible.
do, but then it's like you misused the condom.
Oh,
or
dude,
you
biggest-
did something.
Biggest high school myth that needs to go. I remember I fucking yelled at my girlfriend about this because I wanted to have a little bit of unprotected sex just for a minute. She's like, well, you could still get pregnant from pre-cum. Like, come on, grow the fuck up.
I mean, you
like,
can.
Listen, they also tell you as a kid, like, don't talk to strangers. And eventually you become an adult and you realize, well, you can do that a little bit.
Yeah, I've also. I've had, like bought like Plan B for sure. How many Plan Bs have you bought?
Yeah, by the gross.
Not even that many, but that also feels like shit because that happens. Then like they don't feel good the next day, and then you
rough.
feel guilt. You're like, I feel
Yeah.
like I have to punish myself, and so you know what I mean. Like,
I'm
what do you
going
want
for
me
a
to do?
I'll take one with you, honey.
Yeah.
We're going down together. What
Like-
would happen if a man took a
Nothing. They've done that thing. Nothing happens
Nothing
because you
happens.
don't have. No, I
'Cause
mean,
the-
you'll probably be wonky. I don't even know. It might make you like sick. You might throw.
Well, I imagine it has to be some kind of like estrogen spike because it's all hormonal shit.
I think it would be the opposite, right? Because Don't your hormones spike like crazy as soon as you get
Yeah, your hormones start kicking in as soon as
But
you're
I know,
bonded.
like, they feel like shit the next day.
Sure.
And you're like, what? Like, you're probably hungover. You're just like, this fucking, you just feel like a piece of shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? What can you do? I don't know. I'm a big guilty conscience guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I always, there was one etiquette thing with condoms that for some reason the young lady thought was okay. She was like, oh, you know, like if a
Take
guy,
it off and put it back on.
no, that'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But no, this one was a little more subtle. It was like, she was on her way to finishing, and I unfortunately, it was like, we were going for a while. I could not hold out.
Yeah.
And I can't, and she was just like, just keep going. I was like, that's not how a condom works.
Yeah.
I need it because it's going to, like, I wanted to be like, are you stupid? Like, are you an idiot? It's going to come out the fucking other side. It's just going to go inside of you again. Like,
we're going to overflow.
It's not,
reservoir ain't going to do it.
It's a tiny, I was like, no, I got to go wash up. Just, I'll be right back.
Were you guys like big think of something else while you guys were having sex?
I've done it.
Not come ever?
I've done it.
Honestly,
I never understood that. I'll just pull out and like eat her out.
Yeah.
Not to be.
It was always the good
But
stuff.
like, why just fucking take it easy?
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a break for a second. And then
Also,
go back. Like,
stop
also,
squeezing your
funner
butthole.
anyway.
Stop squeezing. Stop tensing.
Yeah, take it
Everyone
easy.
Take it easy.
The guy filming knows, dude. Your ass looks weird. Like,
You know what I've had more in recent years? I've had where I have like peaked out while fucking. Like there was just so much sensation. It got to a point and it just went down. It's like, I got to take a break or I'm not going to be able to finish. And then I take that break and I finish in like 45 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
How many times have you guys fake cummed?
Twice. Maybe twice
many
ever.
times.
Oh, yeah.
Many times.
That's another one you just got real
That's
somber. Like,
many.
many a load.
No,
Many times. It just comes down to the sexual partner. I think they're just, I like to refer. There's some women, as we know, who can have a vaginal orgasm.
Yeah.
And if women cannot, usually, and if they're not understanding their body, maybe they don't understand that they need to have clitoral stimulation, and they might not be doing that. And if they're not having a vaginal orgasm, or it's harder for them to do that, then they might not be really. They're working at it. I got to just be like, hey, if we're gonna start getting closer, right? And that starts happening. I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll just do? I've definitely just been like, it'll play out, and then it'll finish, and she's like, did you? And clearly there's no evidence, and I'm just like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Be all right.
Crazy.
Be over here.
That's one of those phantom loads.
It was a poltergeist.
Yeah.
What it was? It went into plasma. I've definitely done it.
So
Yes, I mean, I feel like that's common.
I feel bad.
I
Because
used to think that was like my move, and nobody did that. And I started to ask people, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
I think what Peggy was talking about there was it was unfortunate because sometimes that's going the other way. I've been like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Or I'll just, take care of herself, or or she's very nice, take care of me or whatever. Yeah. But like Peggy kind of hit on it a little bit with like, if you do have a little rejection like that, and women can take it very hard. It can go fucking the other way real fast. And I don't want, it's not it's not the intention.
No,
it's just, But at that point, I've definitely used like, how many. I don't mean to be gross. How many times are coming? Like, guys, it's like, I'll get on the next one. Who cares?
Yeah, well, we're also,
like,
I'm 30.
I'm doing it for sport right now. This is
that is one thing women do not understand is because I had this a few months back. I'm 32 now. I was hooking up with a 25-year-old, and she's like, let's just go out and get fucked up and then go home and fuck. Like, you have no idea how an adult man's dick works.
Oh, I mean, I'm
not at all.
Fucking all about that.
Yeah,
I love me some getting hammered. I turn into a bigger pervert usually until I hit like a certain, let's say like 30 vodkas in a night. I'm kind of
then it's done.
I have a very certain limit where it's like if we're doing this, if I have had 5 drinks, there are no condoms. Like it's not going to work. Yeah. It's not going to work. Yeah.
I've been there. Yeah. And you know what? Then you just say, Donka Shane. You just throw it just like, hey, this one was for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, let's watch a weird movie and go to bed. Chalk it up as a loss.
I'll watch Clueless or whatever the fuck. It's cool. This one's on me.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
So we have one final email.
What we got?
And this one is from Jeff the Passion Vine Colella. The Passion Vine.
Passion Vine.
So he put a bunch of questions on here. So let's just roll through these. One.
This loser would have this much time to type out this many questions. Fuck you. I don't know. I love you. Go.
Do your full-blown herpes hold you back from dating? Foster?
No, not even a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, me. That's fine.
Do you overcome?
I don't know. I'm not really out there dating, I guess. I've just been like working like a button. I've been thinking maybe to get like back onto like a thing, or just because that sounds easy. I've been running around too much,
What is it?
or staying home,
Chantix
or whatever.
Isn't
Yeah, no, I don't mean that. I mean, I just mean even getting. I might use a dating thing. I'm a dating app or whatever. But I was like,
it's 2019. Like,
yeah, I don't know, because I'm definitely not going out to bars or whatever. Like I you know, in terms of going like out as much, I'm not really just doing it. Just been busy, so I'm like, maybe I'll get on there and just go on a date or two or whatever. But I don't know. I was like, should I put it on the fucking profile, dude? I was like, because I'm just like,
I've seen
just
that.
weed it out, just be like, get it out there, be like, whatever, I have herpes, I don't
that's gonna
care.
be a deal breaker anyway. You might as well get it.
Might as well get it out of the way, right? Yeah. So,
like, how many people could that possibly weed out that wasn't going to weed out anyway?
yeah. And play just like play safe. Just want to be upfront. Here's a blah, whatever. Who gives a shit? You know,
dates,
right? Well, I see. I use the classic verb of dating. Like when I say dating, I mean that's not a relationship. That's not to me. I said that we're going on dates. That's
like
what that means.
We're going out and having fun.
We're going out and having fun.
Out
it's not in a relationship.
Like,
yeah.
I don't go out to dinner. You know?
Yeah, the dinner.
Like, what?
All right, so buddy, here's we got the next one here. I'll read it out to you. How do you overcome getting a girl to like you despite your bitch hips? Work the fuck out, or just have immense confidence? I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have abs, Jeff, which you don't have.
Right.
So I guess that overpowers the hips.
Dude, you gotta be doing fucking side bends. You gotta start doing side bends like immediately.
I do a lot of hip thrusts. I try to get my cheek game up.
That's important.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't even notice them actually.
That one might be directed at me. I kind of have bitch hips.
Bitch hips.
Yeah.
Well, and also, what does he mean by bitch hips? Like
just a big ass pelvis.
When men have feminine, like when the side saddle's kind of up there.
I could get both of my legs through one of his pant legs for sure.
Jeff.
All right.
Goatee,
fucking
Jeff.
Total burn. I should bring a picture of him on camera.
Okay.
I actually have his phone number. Everyone.
Yeah, let's give him a call.
Do girls like it when you play Bop It during sex? That one's just...
He's just trying to be funny. I think.
Yeah. I mean, Bop It was
like
fun.
bop them cutely on the nose, like boop boop. Yeah.
Okay.
They love it.
Maybe don't. Yeah, they love it, Jeff. That's
I make
a great
love,
one.
Jeff. I don't have sex.
When was the first time you fucked a plant?
Jeff thinks he's really funny.
Yeah,
Jeff like read these out in the mirror before he sent them over just to make sure they were funny.
was
How did you get to the
writer
same
than this.
round as me? It's funny as you fucking.
How
dork.
often does Peggy peg you? Ha ha ha. That's really funny.
She's not strong enough to hold me down.
There you go.
To be honest,
How many Great Danes have you blew?
these are fun. I think these
Blowing
are.
all my material.
Yeah, this is really.
Is
Getting a mistletoe
I'm
tattoo
so
on your forehead.
blind.
This is. Yeah, I know. I can't.
But you're also
really
staring
increase-
directly into lights,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's not your fault.
Were you and your girlfriend on fucking edibles while you wrote these hack questions? You nerd.
No, really.
What do we got?
This one. Marry, fuck, kill. Dan Madden.
A comic a comic we know.
A kitchen cabinet covered in KY jelly. Steve Bickle after eating Funyuns.
Marry, fuck, kill.
I mean, that's Steve Bickle for the fucking. I think for me, just because he's going to be docile, he's going to be ready to go.
Did you see his new getup?
I think he looks great. He hates himself. He thinks he looks like an idiot.
I was outside. He came walking up and like yelled something down the street. I'm like, who's this fucking accountant yelling at? And then he got closer. I was like, oh, he's got combat.
He's an
boots on?
accountant from like the 90s.
Yeah,
he's got like 2 earrings in it. Like,
but I'm definitely. I think I'm marrying Dan Madden actually.
That's obvious.
I think he can cook.
Yeah. That's
I've got
obvious.
good authority that he can cook.
Yeah.
Women don't realize how
Plus
much
he's so
that is
feminine
still.
with his lack of chin and jawline.
Yeah, he got
I'm
that.
going Dan.
I think women still don't realize that old fashioned, like how much a woman who cooks is just so fucking attractive.
Oh my god!
Enough that we will take a Dan Madden.
Dude who can cook. I'm like fucking yeah. But kitchen cabinet covered in KY.
So you either you fucking Steve Bickle or you're killing Steve Bickle.
I'm going to kill Bickle, take the Funyuns, and then I'm going to fuck the kitchen cabinet.
That makes sense. I think that's fair enough.
How long?
That's crazy.
And the final question, how long has Craigslist been your favorite dating app? Ooh, 2009's greatest joke.
Dating apps.
Yeah.
I just go to the bar and hang out, you fucking nerd.
Here's a question. What's your favorite? In terms of meeting people, this is what I think people do. I was like, no, he's just there, and then people say shit to him. That's pretty much how that. How many times has a woman just walked up to you? How many do you think? A handful of times? How many times?
Like just walked up to
just
you
walked up to you at a purpose. I don't mean
I mean, I don't know. A bunch.
Yeah, probably right.
Bunch.
Yeah.
But pick up like If I see a girl,
pickup lines, but
no. Obviously, nobody.
The most
does
common
pickup lines.
interactions that you would
But
have.
if I see an attractive girl, I just walk up to her. I try to think of something before I get over there.
Right.
You sound
Ask
like
for
a
phone number.
fucking wizard to me.
But
I need an in. I
just
an in.
don't. I don't care about getting shot down. I genuinely don't care.
Sure.
Because you're just. I don't know where I heard it, but I forget what somebody had like some quote about something, and I heard it and just clicked. I'm like, why do I care?
Right.
Like who? You didn't know her before this. The worst thing that happens, it was like, what am I going to walk home? Like, I'm not going to cry walking home from the bar.
I'm just imagining you with a dry erase board in your room that just says, get pussy. There's always more pussy.
Yeah.
Fucking Aristotle.
Yeah. Derek Jeter.
There you go.
But, no. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not worried about getting shit on. I think, I forget how I also grew up around women. Like, I have a bunch of girl cousins, aunts, and you're obviously not hitting on them, but I'm not uncomfortable. They always had friends around.
Not quite so obvious.
You know what I mean? I think so.
I'm more comfortable around women.
So am I.
I've just been raised by women, so I'm more comfortable around women. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I know why because I've been raised by them. But
Right.
But I mean, when walking into a girl at a bar, I will talk myself out of it in terms of I'm like, I'll size her up. If I'm not seeing a lot of eye contact and stuff like that, I'll just be like, that's probably a hit and a miss. Let's move the fuck on. You know what I mean?
I don't understand how dudes have no grip on being shot down. Because like my girlfriend, I have girlfriends who send me shit that dudes say to them, and I'm like, how the fuck is this guy not? You also shouldn't have given him your phone number, A.
Right.
But then B, how are you not getting any? Because girls will be like, oh, I gave it to him because I was feeling nice. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Or they'll do the psycho move where they're like, you give me your number, and the guy will put it in and call himself. I'm like, you just block him, dude.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's the worst thing ever when you're out with friends and a dude's on a girl and he's just, it's like, dude, why do you have to make someone tell you to go away?
Yeah.
How are you an adult and you don't sense that?
That's a problem.
It's fucking weird.
I'll say this.
Dudes do it to dudes too.
True.
You know what I mean?
I'll say this as far as the rejection thing. The problem is if you're already out, if you're single and it's a night you really need it, your self-esteem is probably not the best.
On the line. Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. Your self-esteem is probably not at the best, and you're just so afraid of a bad rejection because a bad rejection is just going to confirm the horrible shit you're already thinking about yourself.
It's the same shit with stand-up. We have fucking 5 bad sets and you're like, I need this one.
Yes. No, I had that recently. I need a good set.
I was talking to Cody Wright, and he was like, do you have a set on your... do you have a set that you'll if you have a bunch of bad ones in a row? You're like, I need to watch this one to make you're like, okay, I'm not delusional,
Right.
But
yeah.
But no. I mean, the ego's a fragile thing.
That scares the shit. I mean, I think that's a bad position to have. If you're one, saying that you need it is a problem.
Yeah.
I just, in my head, I was like, well, because that builds into guys getting offended if they do get turned down. That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because they're it feels like you did it to them. You know what I mean? It's like, no, man. I mean, if you need it, go home.
She could also just be
masturbate.
out with her friends.
Sure.
Or whatever. You never know. That's when you have a bad interaction with somebody somewhere. And it's a person and your buddy meets him for the first time. That guy's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
It's dude, you don't know. How many times have you met someone for the first time? That guy's a dick.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck was going on that day. Maybe they're out because she just got dumped and now she's feeling like a dick. Who the fuck knows?
I think just watch body language, look for eye contact. You know what I mean? See if that vibes, and then
people aren't very observant
walk
when
up
they're
and
trying
talk.
to get laid in bed. Also, I feel
true.
I actually did have an experience though that I think might have framed this because it was very early. I was at the Pennant over in Belmar, that old shithole. I loved it. And I was just going to the bar to try to get a drink, and there's a chubby blonde girl there. I'm just like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I sidle in, and she's getting a drink, huh?
chubby and I saddled up.
Yeah. But
I can already see why this didn't go well.
Oh, well, no, here's the thing.
I'm kidding.
Wasn't trying to do anything.
You're chubby.
I was trying to get a drink.
Hey.
I was trying to get a drink. She looks over, and I'm just like, oh, hey, what's up? She's like, nice try. And I mean, it was like, do you...
Hey, what's up? That's it.
And then I punched her. I
You
don't know why.
Miss Piggy looking fucking
Here
bitch.
we go. I gotta get out of here. I actually do have to go.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you
we're
got
going to
6:30,
wrap
so
this
we're
up on
there.
that. Ryan Foster, thanks for being here.
being here,
Of course.
This has been the Magical Misery Tour. Neil.
No, I am Neil Wood. Whatever, it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
All right, Magical Misery Tour. Check out Lovable Monsters.
Yeah.
And nothing happens when you die. Goodbye.
See you later, guys. Bye.
This has been a DropTent Media production.